Welcome back to Whispered Firelight Stories. Forests awake tonight. This one's called The Fire Left Empty.
The trees of Freetown Fall River moved like tall, whispering sentries. 4 friends sat on one side of the campfire. They kept the opposite side empty without meaning to. A battered cooler sweated in the heat. Ethan lifted a bottle. "To my brother, only reason tonight has a pulse." They laughed. Cheap beer. Cheap bravado. Maya watched sparks lift like tiny spirits. Most haunted forest in America, and we brought beer instead of protection. Liam had Chloe tucked under his arm. Harvard for her in weeks. Caltech for him, 3,000 miles away. They hadn't said the words yet, but they felt the distance. "Ghost stories," Ethan said. "Legally required." Their laughter came too quick. The empty side of the fire still waited. Ethan started. "Back in the 70s, cops found pits out here. Ash, bones, symbols carved deep in trees, circles, spirals, lines that didn't make sense. Animals mostly, they said. Maybe not." He took a slow drink. When they cut some trees down, the carvings ran through every ring. Decades, maybe longer. Silence pressed in. Maya went next. "My cousin followed a floating light. Not a lantern, round, bobbing. It kept just ahead, then split in 2. One behind him, one ahead, herded him off the trail. He got away by falling into a ravine and crawling out at dawn." She stared at the fire. "He swears they weren't lights by the end. He thinks they were eyes." Chloe spoke soft. "My mom knew a boy who camped out here and never came home. People said they still saw him, just outside the firelight, part of the circle until you really looked." Her hand tightened on Liam's arm. She said he never blinked. A pop from the fire made her jump. Liam leaned in. "There's a man who walks between camps. Some say axeman, some say wanderer. Same look, tall, pale, axe in his hands. You don't hear him come. He's just there. Sooner or later someone notices. Then he notices you, and someone asks, who invited him?" No one laughed. The woods went silent. Even crickets stopped. From the empty side of the fire came a faint, ragged sound. Breathing. Ethan tossed a log on. Sparks jumped. In the flare, Maya's breath hitched. A man stood across the flames, lean, an axe loose in his hands. The blade was blackened. Wet streaks gleamed along the edge. Liam's bottle slipped. Who invited him?" The man didn't answer. A polite smile. Smoke curled toward him like it belonged. Chloe's voice shook. "This isn't funny." Ethan's color was gone. The man tapped the haft against the ground. Each thud sounded too deep. "Look," Ethan tried. "This is a national forest. You can't just—" The man tilted his head. Sparks leapt as if answering for him. Maya whispered, "Go, now." They grabbed packs, stumbled into trees, branches whipped, roots snagged. The fire's glow fell away to a suffocating black. "Keep moving," Ethan hissed. They burst into a clearing. The same fire waited. Same stones, same smoke. Same man across the flames, axe reflecting red. Chloe sobbed. "We didn't come back," Liam said, shaking. "We turned left." "Again," Ethan barked. They split directions and still collided in the dark. Trails bent on themselves. Trees leaned, watching. A symbol flashed on bark, faintly glowing, then wasn't there when Ethan looked. Their phones were no help. Each screen stuck at 3 a.m. No matter how long they walked, the time didn't change. They stopped to listen. Footsteps circled them, many feet, moving when they moved, stopping when they stopped. "Don't look back," Maya whispered. Liam looked anyway and screamed, "He's right there!" The man stood between trunks, only yards away. He hadn't followed. He had waited. Like the forest had delivered them back, they ran. They arrived at the same clearing again and again. Each return made the man's small smile heavier, as if it fed on their panic. Chloe clung to Liam. "He won't let us leave." A low, broken chuckle rolled out of the dark, like a throat that had forgotten how to laugh. Behind them, the fire crackled wrong. Too steady, too human. Maya grabbed Ethan's sleeve. "Rules. Every place like this has rules." "Like what?" Ethan snapped. "Don't leave food in camp. Don't whistle at night. Don't leave a seat empty at the fire." They all looked at the empty side without meaning to. The man's smile notched higher. "Offer something," Maya said. "Old places like offerings." Ethan yanked off his brother's Red Sox cap and set it on a stone. Chloe slipped a bracelet from her wrist, blue beads, frayed string, and placed it beside the cap. Maya untied a lock of her own hair, hands shaking, and left it coiled like a question. Liam set his pocket knife down, gift from his dad, blade closed, pointing away. "Take it," he said. "Just let us go." The man didn't move. The gifts steamed in the heat, then lay still. They backed away and tried the creek. Water should have been there, a thread on the map they'd checked. They found a bed of stones, dry and cold. When Chloe stepped into it, the stones shifted underfoot like something breathing. "Don't stop," Liam said. They followed the bed for minutes that felt like hours until it fed, impossibly, back into the clearing with the same ring of stones and the same fire chewing the same log. They walked in a tight file, hands on shoulders so the forest couldn't slide them apart. "Count," Maya said. "1," said Ethan. "2," said Maya. "3," said Liam. Silence. "Chloe?" Her hand was gone. They spun and saw her 5 paces back, staring into the trees. "Did you hear that?" she whispered. "No," Liam said too fast. "I heard my mother." Liam shook his head hard. "That's not her." Chloe took 1 step after the voice, and the man was suddenly between her and the trees, axe low, head canted as if he'd been listening with them the whole time. They hauled her forward. A smell rose, iron and old ash. Maya gagged. Blood pit. They hadn't seen one. They had walked into one, their boots sinking half an inch into soil blackened with old burn. Symbols ringed the pit in shallow cuts. Circles, spirals, a figure with a chevron torso and no face. Sap bled from the tree next to it, thick and dark. When Liam touched it with 1 finger, the sap lifted against gravity and reached back for him. They ran. The forest looped them again. Ethan stopped and put his hands out as if pushing against a wall that wasn't there. "Okay," he shouted at the trees. "We get it." A voice answered from the other side of the fire, a voice like a polite clerk who had waited patiently for a question. "Who invited me?" They had not seen his lips move. He had asked without a mouth. Maya pointed at the empty side of the fire. "You did," she whispered. "We left a place for him." The man's smile showed a line of teeth too even to be kind. He tilted his head toward the gifts they'd offered. The cap was damp with dew. The bracelet had fallen apart. Blue beads melted into the stone like candy. The lock of hair had burned to ash without flame. The pocket knife was gone. "Please," Chloe said. "You were on a poster. I saw you years ago. We know you." He stepped closer. His skin gleamed too smooth in the light. His clothes flickered, flannel, denim, rags, decades cycling on his frame. "Then you know the rule," he said. "What rule?" Ethan asked. The axe lifted an inch. "Someone always notices." They tried one last time. Straight line, compass app bright on a phone. The needle spun lazy circles and then pointed back at the fire. They killed the screens and walked by stars. Clouds rolled in as if cued, hiding them. They picked a tree and kept it to their right hand for 10 full minutes. It slid to their left without moving at all. And the clearing waited, always waited. Maya turned her back to the man and faced her friends. "Circle tight. Don't answer if he speaks. If he steps in, we go through, not around." "Through him," Chloe whispered. "Through the spot he wants," Maya said. "If this place is a loop, we break it." They locked arms, counted, and ran at the empty side. Heat hit like a wall. Smoke closed their throats. For a moment the world stuttered. Fire snap, breath, footstep, breath. Then everything went black, and they were on the other side of the flames, coughing, staring at the man's back. He turned slowly, as if surprised. The smile didn't change. The axe rose. "Thanks for keeping the fire warm," he said. "It's been so long since I had company." The edge flashed. The forest leaned in. Everything else was sound and dark. 2 days later, a ranger found the site. The fire was ash cold, the cooler still beaded, sleeping bags still rolled. No tents up. Phones stacked like coasters on a flat rock. Each phone frozen at 3 a.m. Blood was everywhere, on stones, dirt, low branches. A line of blue beads melted into one rock. A Red Sox cap soaked and stuck to another. The pocket knife nowhere. Only one trail left the circle. Heavy steps pressed deep into soil, each print dark with blood. They led to the trees and stopped. Nothing beyond. Some nights rangers swear they hear 4 voices around a distant fire. One laughs too late. One tries to bargain. One says a name and swallows it. One tells a story about lights that aren't lights. The opposite side stays empty, like a chair saved for a guest who always arrives on time. If you camp in Freetown Fall River, keep your circle closed and your shadows tight. Don't whistle. Don't follow lights. Don't leave a seat open. And if anyone asks who invited him, don't look up.
Was the fire left empty? If the fire's still warm where you are, stay a little longer. For more nights like this, hit like, subscribe, and come back to the circle There are always more stories waiting in the dark here at Whispered Firelight Stories.